OutKast and Salt-N-Pepa did what? What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those cash shops to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, it's old school time. It's time to talk about some hip hop. Don't stop. You know what we do around here. This is my job, to inform you young bucks about what's going on in hip hop, the hip hop world. And I'm here to tell you that I'm very proud to bring the news to you that OutKast and Salt-N-Pepa will both be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, gang. And I'm proud of that. There are only a handful of rappers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just found out that Eric B. and Rakim got denied access twice to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So to dudes like me that love hip-hop in its purest form, this is amazing. And there couldn't be two better groups to represent the culture. OutKast and Salt-N-Pepa were very instrumental in my youth as I was coming up. I love both of these groups for different reasons. OutKast was way before, I'm sorry, Salt-N-Pepa was way before OutKast, but both of these groups are very, very important, and I want to have a discussion. Let me read a little bit about this, and we're going to talk about it. OutKast and Salt-N-Pepa are going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame alongside the White Stripes, Soundgarden, Cyndi Lauper, and more. This year's ceremony is set to take place in Los Angeles in November. Who is being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year? Well, it's OutKast. OutKast has been announced among the 2025 class of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees ahead of the induction ceremony, and currently inactive but undeniably funky individual influential duo of Andre 3000 and Big Boy is joined in this year's performance category of honorees such as Salt-N-Pepa, Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. So the first thing that jumps out to you first is those are rock bands. Those are very influential and very established. Those are major rockers right there. So to put them in there, you're going to say, why, Charles? These are just some rappers. But they are not just rappers. Andre 3000 and Big Boy are very, very accomplished. They're musicians, gang. They use a lot of live instrumentation in their music. They did a lot of very original pieces. Most of their stuff was original. They rarely ever sampled, and they constructed a lot of brand new techniques to make the music. So OutKast very much so belongs in that class. Let me continue. Each of these inductees created their own sound and attitude that had a profound impact on the culture and helped to change the course of rock and roll forever. Idlewild, which is OutKast's last album, was released in 2006 as a soundtrack companion to the movie of the same name. I am not a big fan of the Idlewild movie. I thought it was a good attempt, but I like them better. I like their stuff better. To me, Idlewild, it felt like they were starting to grow apart when they did Idlewild. I'm just going to be honest. But I am a huge fan of OutKast. I can't put many groups before OutKast, so even in their categories, probably the only groups that come close in my mind to OutKast is maybe Run DMC, Wu-Tang, Beastie Boys, EPMD. It's not many groups that I can place in the same just realm of OutKast. They are one of the OutKast pretty much saved my life when I was younger because the music was so engaging. It could take your mind off a lot of stuff you're going through when you're living in the city. Like I was living in Washington, D.C. It ain't no joke, gang. So I had to actually find outlets, and music was one of them. And OutKast really, it pushed my creative juices to be a different ear for rap. I'm just gonna be honest. You can't listen to OutKast and not come away without a spiritual, just an awakening. To be honest, they're very original. They're very spiritual. They're very deep to me and a lot of other people. And I feel like I really can't relate to people who say stuff like, I couldn't get into Big Boy, I couldn't get into Andre 3000, I really couldn't get into Cass. I really can't relate to you because the people that I do hang with, chill with, that know hip hop, they're not going to say nothing crazy like they don't really like OutKast. To me, that's like blasphemy almost. I don't understand what's not to like, but to each his own. I'm just going to be honest. I really don't feel like if you don't have that kind of ear, like it's just I don't know what else you're lacking in life, and I just don't want to know. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm biased. Cash is my shit. I'm just an OutKast guy. Let me continue. Andre 3000, a fascinatingly elusive figure in pop culture, launched his first solo album in 2023 with New Blue Sun, which received 3 nominations at the most recent iteration of the Grammys. Big Boy, meanwhile, has released 3 solo albums, including 2017's Boomiverse, as well as the collaborative projects Big Grams with Phantogram and Big Sleepover with Sleepy Brown. So these guys, they've gone diamond with the Speaker Box and Love Below, OutKast, which is, listen, Speaker Box and Love Below is hands down. It's very few double albums that even compare to Speaker Box and Love Below, and it's hands down the only album like this. There's never been 2 artists that made 2 completely, that I can think of, completely different albums. Like Big Boy did Speaker Box and Andre did the Love Below. They were already separating. We get that. And they put the albums together, but it felt right. It didn't feel like one was way to the left and one was way to the right. They both appeared on both albums, but it's just a masterpiece because you got the best of Big Boy. Big Boy was like, you're not going to slump me with this. Like, Big Boy came and showed his best, some of his best work on Speaker Box. And this is when we learned to really, like, for lack of a better word, love Andre 3000 for what he does. This is when we got Hey Ya and all these great works. Andre went out on his own and showed us, okay, this is me, right? He didn't try to do anything. These songs on Love Below are far from normal. They are not like formulaic. Andre really, he took real chances on this album, right? And he ain't the greatest singer, but you felt his songs, right? Caroline, like a lot of his stuff, you just felt it. Even he could be off key or whatever, but it didn't matter because what he was saying in those songs made the songs into what they were, and we accepted it. We sang off key with him if it was off key. We just love Andre 3000. It is what it is, and I can't find a better, like, to me, a more well-rounded artist. I think some of these guys were trying to be Andre. I think we got a lot of the iterations of hip-hop that we got right now because a lot of these guys saw Andre could sing and rap, and they started feeling like, well, I can do that too. I don't have to do one or the other. I can do both. And we never asked Andre to do one or the other, right? I just don't think they do it as well as him because he did it as a true artist. Like, he really wanted to sing. I think some of these guys now, they want to sing because they can make a hit record and make some money from it. That's not why Andre did the music. That's why he's not doing music now. Andre could have been doing music for the last 15 years, but he doesn't want to just do it and get paid. He wants to feel it. He wants to be inspired by it. So I feel like guys now, we're going to struggle to get guys from this iteration into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it's going to get scarier and scarier to put as we get older and our heroes get older. A lot of them going to get rejected from the Hall of Fame, but some of them going to make it. Then it's going to thin out, and then they're going to start looking at these younger guys, and only a handful of them are even going to be worthy to be admitted or to even be nominated, because I think that we lost the artistry somewhere. I think I'm going to take chances and do some real art is gone. And people get so critical these days when they try. It's just tough to do that. But salute to Andre 3000 and Big Boy. I feel like they deserve it. Now, as for Salt-N-Pepa, Salt-N-Pepa was one of my favorite groups. And a lot of people, like myself, we like to talk about ghostwriting, this and that. But Salt-N-Pepa was the original. They were getting written for from day one, but it was like they weren't trying to be rappers in the first place. Salt-N-Pepa met at a Sears. They were working at a Sears, and Martin Lawrence was working at that same Sears, and Kid and Play worked at the same. So they were all friends. So they came under Herbie Lovebug, who wrote their raps, made their beats, and they never intended to be rappers, but they did a song. They answered Dougie Fresh the show, and it blew up. So they started to form this group, and they started to make more records, got signed to, I believe, Next Plateau Records. And I remember going to the mall. I would walk to the mall just to buy rap that I didn't even know if it was rap or not, because back then we really only had a handful of rap stuff coming out, but you didn't always know that it was coming out. There wasn't no like Instagram or nothing telling you what was coming out. Sometimes you just went in there and found it. So I went in there. I'm almost certain. As a matter of fact, I think I did hear I heard I'll Take Your Man. I think I heard I'll Take Your Man before I bought that album. But That's not why I bought the album. I bought the album because it was hip hop. The album was called, I think it was called Crazy. No, it was called Hot, Sexy, something like that. I can't even remember off the top. But I went and bought that. I went and bought that Salt-N-Pepa album, and I was like, this is rocking, especially from being from DC, right? I was steeped and I was raised with the go-go sound, and a lot of New York producers, and Herbie Lovebug was one of them. He used a lot of go-go. I don't know if a lot of you people know what go-go is, but it's a very, very specific sound to DC, the DC music scene. And if you live in DC or you live anywhere near DC within that DMV area, DC, Virginia, Maryland, you know what go-go is. You grow up on go-go. And a lot of your favorite rappers, they come to DC, they will have to go on before the go-go band. Like, they'll do a show, a huge show. They'll do the biggest artist in the world, and then that last artist has to go before the go-go band, because the go-go band is bigger than them in the city. The go-go band, EU and Rare Essence, they're bigger than Jay-Z. And I always tell this story about how Jay-Z said something crazy about go-go and they booed him out of there. He came back the next year, had to apologize on stage before they would let him perform, because go-go, they take it very serious. So if you come in, you're arrogant, and you don't know the culture, you don't know that maybe you don't understand this go-go beat, but we do, and this is our thing. If you come down there crazy about go-go, it might not end well for you. So go-go was a big deal in DC, and Salt-N-Pepa used it on various songs. And Doing the Butt, that's a go-go song. So a lot of songs borrowed from go-go. A lot of rappers, LL Cool J, Special Ed, a lot of rappers borrowed from that go-go sound, and Salt-N-Pepa was no different. And that broke records because a lot of people were being introduced to it and they liked it. So I liked it, and I thought their first album was crazy. And it wasn't a lot of female MCs that spit that was really being as just aggressive as Salt-N-Pepa. You had Antoinette, and you had what's them girls from the West Coast? I can't remember their name right now, but it was a couple of MC Light and Queen Latifah came after Salt-N-Pepa, but you only had a few of them, and Salt-N-Pepa did it very, very well. Even though, like I said, Herbie Lovebug was writing for them, they spit them bars just like Dr. Dre. They spit them bars perfect, and they made a name for it. Everybody and their mama knows Push It. You know what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama knows Shoop. Everybody and their mama knows What a Man. Everybody and their mama knows Let's Talk About Sex. So these girls have dominated, and a lot of their hit records came after they left Herbie Lovebug. So they earned their place as well. They did a lot of empowerment for women. I don't know a woman from the 90s that don't sing these Salt-N-Pepa songs and kind of step their game up mentally, physically. They started trying to look better. Let's just be honest. Salt-N-Pepa was from New York, but again, they came down to DC to get them asymmetric hairstyles. We was fly down there, gang. Like, we the Chocolate City. 90% black people's in DC, gang. We was fly. We started a lot of these trends. You ain't get them. You got them wheat Timberlands from us, gang. Let's just be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You got a lot of styles from us, and Salt-N-Pepa was no different. They came down and got real fly with DC. A lot of people from different states used to come down there, and Salt-N-Pepa was no different. So they got real fly. They made hip hop real fly. They went on tour. They made a lot of people step the game up, because people wasn't. New York was, let's just be honest, they were the center of fashion. And even though, like I said, some of that stuff came from DC, New York was the center of fashion, and a lot of people couldn't dress before New York started getting on those videos, and Salt-N-Pepa led that charge fashion-wise. The big hoop earrings and the 8-ball jackets and you know what I'm saying, the all the stuff that they were wearing. Salt-N-Pepa led that charge. They changed hip hop, they changed music culture, and it was good. And I am very proud that they got inducted in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they had a controversy, this and that. I don't know what they did with DJ Spinderella, if they, patched that up or whatever, but I don't know. But every group gonna have their controversies, but at the end of the day, I feel like Salt-N-Pepa deserve it. I feel like OutKast, again, one of the most seminal groups of hip-hop. They put Atlanta 100% on the map, because before OutKast, Atlanta could not catch a break. They had all them black people down there, and nobody cared. Musically, there was no rap coming out of there. We did not care one iota about rap out of Atlanta. I'm just going to be honest. TLC put Atlanta on the map, but OutKast stamped that map. And I'm just going to say this, pretty much all I can do is salute these guys, because without OutKast, definitely without OutKast and without Salt-N-Pepa, my love for hip hop probably wouldn't be what it is today. I know that's huge, but you gotta understand how much I really listen to OutKast, AT Aliens, Aquemini, even Idlewild, all of that stuff, Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music, which is so funny when you realize that Players Ball is a Christmas song. OutKast got signed to do a Christmas record. They gave him one single. They said you get one, because they didn't believe in hip hop. LaFace Records, they didn't want rappers, they did not believe in rap, and they said you get one record, and it's gotta be a Christmas song because it's gonna be on a Christmas album. And Players Ball is a Christmas song, and that is one of the funniest things ever. But I'm just gonna leave it at this. Salute. This is another history lesson about hip hop. This is what I do on this channel. It ain't always about talking about these buffoons that we got right now. Sometimes we just want to salute these ghosts. So salute to OutKast, salute to Salt-N-Pepa. I'm gonna leave it at that. CLBMG. Make sure you head over to black-yeti.com. See what they got going on over there. They always got something. They mail it. They ship it all over the continent. So get something from over there. That's the sponsors of the crew of these shows, Talking Facts and the What Show. We do that every Wednesday night at 9:15. Me, TJ, and Flares. We will be there every week. We're gonna be talking something good this week. All right, I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side, gang. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.